You know what it is, man? It's your boy Smith back with another video. And obviously, for Barcelona, things did not go how we wanted them to go today. Uh, PSG 2, Barcelona 1, final score. And yeah, we got our ass kicked in the second half. Pretty much for the most part. After the first like 30 minutes, we started really strong. And yeah, came out all over him. Lamine Yamal looked really sharp the first like 15 minutes. Pedri was controlling the game. De Jong looked really good. Everything, we were firing on all cylinders the first like 30 minutes, I'd say. And yeah, after that, it was like we kind of just it's because we came out pressing super high, obviously like we always do, and we just looked like we had a bunch of energy. We're feeding off the crowd, and it looked like PSG just kind of like waited for us to wear out a bit and then popped us the rest of the game. There was like a small stretch, maybe 10, 15 minute stretch in the second half. We were like, trying to fight back a bit too. But yeah, we deserved to lose today. We just got thoroughly outplayed um, by a PSG team that had a bunch of injuries, bro. Their whole front line was basically backups. Other than I guess Barcola, they kind of go back and forth with Barcola and Doué starting. But yeah, who they have starting? They had no Dembele today, no Doué, and no Kvaratskhelia. And they started Barcola, Mayulu, who like I only know him because he scored in the Champions League final. Came on at the end, like young guy. I don't even know how old. How old is he? Let me check his age. He's 19. I know he scored in the Champions League final. Came on at the very end after it was already a rundown. Got a goal, and then Mbaye, I guess that's how you name. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but he looked really good today. That whole front three though, it was Barcola is the one name that like everybody kind of knows, and he probably looked the worst of the three today. He wasn't bad, but I just thought the other two looked really good. But especially that Mbaye kid, he was real sharp. But yeah, like look like I mean that's a loaded team right there, bro. With that kind of depth, if those are the backups, it's like god damn, like team looked really good today. But yeah, they kicked our ass in the second half, and much deserved loss. Yeah, we got a lot to clean up on, and it was kind of like as far as from Hansi Flick, man. Like I said, I've always said time and time and time and time and time again, this high line is going to be the death of us, and we got to know when to really press high and keep this line super high and try, and when to just like relax for a second. And PSG was beating the dog shit out of us all second half. We would have been lucky to get out of here with a 1-1 tie, and obviously they ended up grabbing a late winner. They grabbed it in the fucking 90th minute with a Ramos goal, and yeah, I just think at that point we're still sitting in a high line. They catch us out in behind, and Ramos scores from a beautiful ball from Hakimi. But it's like at that point in the game, man, you gotta know to just maybe see it out a bit, bro. They beating the dog shit out of us, dog. And our midfield at that point, we had sub Pedri and bought in. I'll get into the lineups after this, but we had sub Pedri and brought in Bernal, and we had subbed Olmo was piss poor there. We'll get into that later. And brought in Casido. So our midfield to see the game out was Bernal, Casido, De Jong. Like three more defensive minded midfielders. And yeah, I just don't understand. Like, okay, so if you're gonna go that defensive in midfield, why not maybe drop the line a bit and kind of just see it out and let them defend? Like, I don't know. Like, I guess his thought was to bring them in and they got some fresh legs. They run around and press. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand this high line. Like I said, this was like a step backwards from Newcastle, where I thought we were a bit more conservative with that line, and we dropped it a bit. And I was like, yo, that's really good to see. Like maybe in like games against like in big games, we'll see more of that. But we went back to old habits today, and that's just what I'm afraid of with Hansi Flick, man. I'm just afraid that like he's gonna live and die with this, and it was another example of that today. But yeah, to get into the lineup, so we made a few lineup changes. We had Furran at 9 instead of Lewandowski, which ended up being a good decision. Furran grabs the first goal for us. We obviously jumped out to an early 1-0 lead. In the 19th minute, Furran scores. And he was like a threat early. Like Lamine Yamal played him in a couple times. Obviously with, PSG being like a team that wants to press high and play somewhat of a high line himself. Yeah, it was like nice to have a more pace in at our 9 and be more of a threat in behind. And that's what Furran, definitely the first like 30 minutes or whatever, was definitely doing more of that. And then he grabs his goal for a beautiful first time ball from Rashford, and he puts it in, put us up 1-0. And I say for like the first 30 minutes, we were kind of all over him. We looked really good, came out, looked the better side. And then after that, they put that leather on us, bro. There was maybe one other stretch, maybe like 10, 15 minute stretch in the second half where we looked like we were trying to like fight back a bit. But yeah, this is a well-deserved PSG win. They completely outplayed us today. Other than that first like 30 minutes, they were better than us, and especially once we took Pedri off, we ended up taking Pedri off late. Pedri came off he played 79 minutes, so yeah, like 79th minute we took him off, and the last like 15 minutes or so, it was just super belt to ass. We couldn't even touch the ball. So yeah, like I said, definitely got some things to work on, but yeah, went with Ferran up top today instead of Lewandowski. We went with Lamine Yamal, obviously, and Rashford on the wings, and then Danny Olmo at 10 today. Who, oh my goodness, bro. And then Pedri, De Jong, double pivot. Koundé at right back. Eric Garcia at center back today, who, when I first looked at the lineup, I'm like, I don't know, man. With PSG, they got so much pace, but Eric Garcia was the best player in that back line today. He was really good. Looked like he kind of, like, I don't know. I hope it's nothing serious. Like, maybe it was cramping up. I hope it was nothing, but he kind of came. He was asking for a sub at the end. It looked like it might have just been cramps, but you know how that goes with Barcelona. It's like, oh, it doesn't look bad. And then, boom. Oh, out for 2 months out of nowhere. Like, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully they give us updates on that soon. But yeah, him and Cabarsi, and then Gerard Martin at left back, Chesney and net, obviously with Garcia's injury. And Balde came back today, played the last like 20 minutes. So that was good to see him get some reps. But yeah. Danny Olmo, like I said, getting into that, man. Oh my goodness, this guy, bro. What happened to this nigga, son? Like he's really just, bro, every time he gets the ball, it's like his decision making, bro, it's just is mind boggling. Like, I don't understand what goes through his mind when he gets the ball. Like, he is hell bent on making things as difficult as he can for himself every time the ball is at his feet. It's like, and that's what makes him so hit or miss. And it's just a lot more misses than hits lately, because it's like he's the definition of like, you do like never let him know your next move in the worst way possible for the most time. Like, I guess that's the one thing I can give him, is you don't know what Danny Olmo's gonna do with the ball when he gets it. It's like, it seems like a simple pass is open and it's like, okay, just 2 touch, get it off your feet, and no, he's trying to like hold on to the ball or like make a crazy half turn past someone or like meg somebody when he should just get up. Like, I just don't understand the decision making with this guy, bro. Like, but he was just, yeah, he's just not it, man. We miss Fermin so bad, bro. So bad. And yeah, Olmo continues his poor form. He was terrible, I thought, today. Lamine Yamal started the game super hot. The first 15 minutes, he was like creating chances left and right. Like I said, played Ferran in a couple times. Had a crazy to start the game where he had a crazy like sequence to start the game where he dribbled past like 3 players, and you're thinking, oh yeah, Lamine Yamal's on that tonight, and then that was it, bro. He just super quiet tonight. Rashford here and there, you know, had a couple chances. Obviously gets an assist today to Ferran. Had a couple chances. There was one in transition where he caught Zabeldia or whatever. I don't know how you say that center back's name. The one they got from Bournemouth, I think, Zabarnia or whatever. He caught him like 1v1, made him miss, and like played a cross in. Like, yeah, that was like kind of a dangerous like chance like to create something. They ended up clearing it out for a corner or whatever. But yeah, he was kind of like, you know, he was all right today. I still thought he should have stayed on. You know, like I said, I just hate when we have no threat off the left, especially in a game where, especially the second half, where we didn't have as much of the ball. And it's like, hey, if we're going to do anything, we're probably going to need more of a transitional threat and someone that can maybe make someone miss 1v1 on a counter, and then just boom, you feel me? You like something sparks from there, and we sub him off for Ferran off the left, and I knew at that point at least, like, it was pretty much nothing. At least we brought Balde in at the end to kind of give us something, but yeah, I didn't understand that Rashford sub. But yeah, man, this was just us getting outplayed, bro. Like, really not too many players I say were like good today. I say Pedro was pretty good in the first half. The second half, he was maybe a bit more quiet. Ferran, another one who like started the game good and then was quiet as the game went on. But like I said, man, they just they beat our ass in that second half. Like, it was really just them having a lot more of the ball, them creating a lot more of the chances, us doing a lot more defending. And yeah, man, this is just not the performance you were looking for with half the team out. I mean, they had no Joao Neves. They had, like I said, their whole front threes out. Marquinhos, is Marquinhos out, or did they just bench him? I guess, yeah, Marquinhos looked like he's out too. I don't know. Okay, yeah, Marquinhos is injured, so they had him out too. But yeah, a lot of key players out, and they still came into Barcelona at home. We were at home today and beat the dog shit out of us. And yeah, Like I said, man, this and like I said, that's the biggest concern to me was this line, bro. Like that's always gonna be the biggest line. I've said it over and over and over again. Like this high line is gonna be the death of us, bro. It's just unsustainable in big games like this with teams that can maybe see eye to eye with you as far as talent. And PSG is definitely one of those teams. And you're just asking too much, bro. You're asking too much of these players to just like press, like freaking like run their fucking ass off for 90 minutes nonstop and press. Like it's too much, bro. Like sometimes, especially in a game where you're getting outplayed this bad in the second half, just see it out a bit, bro. Like I just don't understand why we just can never do that. Like I said, I thought the Newcastle game was a step forward. That we were a bit more conservative with the line, but we did have a lot more control in that game. So like maybe that didn't. And today was more of a test, bro. When we don't control games, it's like Flick is still going to result to that high line to try and get us more control in the game, win the ball back, win the ball, and that just isn't it. Sometimes, and it's like the more the game went on, the more tired everybody looked. The press wasn't as good, and the more PSG just controlled the game. And it's going to be more of that, I think, if Flick is hell bent on this high line. And if we're going to keep playing like this, I just don't see how this ends well, bro. Like, I keep saying that shit, but that's how I feel. But, yeah, obviously, bad loss today. You would have liked to make a statement with a big win. That was our first really big game of the year. We're playing another team that could potentially win this tournament. And, yeah, failed that test. And at the weekend, we go on to play Sevilla. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, we got to like maintain that lead in the league. So on to that. And yeah, things just didn't go how we wanted today. But on to Sevilla, man.